a WikiVidi documentaries production. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Enjoy. WhatsApp. WhatsApp Messenger is a freeware and cross-platform messaging and voice-over IP service owned by Facebook. The application allows the sending of text messages and voice calls, as well as video calls, images, and other media, documents, and user location. The application runs from a mobile device, but is also accessible from desktop computers. The service requires consumer users to provide a standard cellular mobile number. Originally, users could only communicate with others individually or in groups of individual users, but in September 2017, WhatsApp announced a forthcoming business platform that will enable companies to provide customer service to users at scale. The client was created by WhatsApp Incorporated based in Mountain View, California, which was acquired by Facebook in February 2014 for approximately $19.3 billion. By February 2018, WhatsApp had a user base of over 1.5 billion, making it the most popular messaging application at the time. WhatsApp has grown in multiple countries, including Brazil, India, and large parts of Europe, including United Kingdom and France. 2009-2014. WhatsApp was founded in 2009 by Brian Acton and Jan Koum, both former employees of Yahoo. After Koum and Acton left Yahoo in September 2007, the duo traveled to South America to take a break from work. At one point, they applied for jobs at Facebook, but were rejected. For the rest of the following years, Koum relied on his $400,000 savings from Yahoo. In January 2009, after purchasing an iPhone and realizing the potential of the app industry on the App Store, Koum started visiting his friend Alex Fishman in West San Jose, where the three would discuss having statuses next to individual names of the people. But this was not possible without an iPhone developer. Fishman found a Russian developer on rentacoda.com, Igor Solomenikov, and introduced him to Koum. Koum named the app WhatsApp to sound like WhatsApp. On February 24, 2009, he incorporated WhatsApp Incorporated in California. However, because early versions of WhatsApp often crashed or got stuck at a particular point, Koum felt like giving up and looking for a new job, upon which Acton encouraged him to wait for a few more months. In June 2009, Apple launched push notifications, allowing users to be pinged when they were not using an app. Koum changed WhatsApp so that when a user's status is changed, everyone in the user's network would be notified. WhatsApp 2.0 was released with a messaging component, and the number of active users suddenly increased to 250,000. Acton was still unemployed and managing another startup, and he decided to join the company. In October 2009, Acton persuaded 5 former friends in Yahoo to invest $250,000 in seed funding, and Acton became a co-founder and was given a stake. He officially joined on November 1, after months at beta stage. The application eventually launched in November 2009 exclusively on the App Store for the iPhone. Koum then hired a friend who lived in Los Angeles, Chris Pfeiffer, to develop the BlackBerry version, which arrived 2 months later. WhatsApp was switched from a free to paid service to avoid growing too fast, mainly because the primary cost was sending verification texts to users. In December 2009, the ability to send photos was added to WhatsApp for the iPhone. By early 2011, WhatsApp was one of the top 20 apps in Apple's US App Store. In April 2011, Sequoia Capital invested approximately $8 million for more than 15% of the company, after months of negotiation with Sequoia partner Jim Getz. By February 2013, WhatsApp had about 200 million active users and 50 staff members. Sequoia invested another $50 million, and WhatsApp was valued at $1.5 billion. In a December 2013 blog post, WhatsApp claimed that 400 million active users used the service each month. Facebook subsidiary, 2014-present. On February 19, 2014, months after a venture capital financing round at a $1.5 billion valuation, Facebook announced it was acquiring WhatsApp for $19 billion, its largest acquisition to date. At the time, the acquisition was the largest purchase of a venture-backed company in history. Sequoia Capital received an approximate 50x return on its initial investment. Facebook, which was advised by Allen & Co., paid $4 billion in cash, $12 billion in Facebook shares, and an additional $3 billion in restricted stock units granted to WhatsApp's founders, Cohen and Acton. Employee stock was scheduled to vest over 4 years subsequent to closing. Days after the announcement, WhatsApp users experienced a loss of service, leading to anger across social media. The acquisition caused a considerable number of users to move or try out other message services as well. Telegram claimed to have seen 8 million additional downloads of its app. Line claimed to have seen 2 million new users for its service. At a keynote presentation at the Mobile World Congress in Barcelona in February 2014, Facebook CEO Mark Zuckerberg said that Facebook's acquisition of WhatsApp was closely related to the Internet.org vision. According to a TechCrunch article, Zuckerberg's vision for Internet.org was as follows: the idea, he said, is to develop a group of basic Internet services that would be free of charge to user 911 for the Internet. These could be a social networking service like Facebook, a messaging service, maybe search, and other things like weather. Providing a bundle of these free of charge to users will work like a gateway drug of sorts. Users who may be able to afford data services and phones these days just don't see the point of why they would pay for those data services. This would give them some context for why they are important, and that will lead them to paying for more services like this. Or so the hope goes. Just 3 days after announcing that WhatsApp had been purchased by Facebook, Cohen said they were working to introduce voice calls in the coming months. He also advanced that new mobile phones would be sold in Germany with the WhatsApp brand, as their main goal was to be in all smartphones. In August 2014, WhatsApp was the most globally popular messaging app, with more than 600 million active users. By early January 2015, WhatsApp had 700 million monthly active users with over 30 billion messages being sent every day. In April 2015, Forbes predicted that between 2012 and 2018, the telecommunications industry will lose a combined total of $386 billion because of OTT services like WhatsApp and Skype. That month, WhatsApp had over 800 million active users. By September 2015, the user base had grown to 900 million, and by February 2016 it had grown to 1 billion. As of November 30, 2015, the Android client for WhatsApp started making links to another messenger called Telegram unclickable and uncopyable. This is an active block, as confirmed by multiple sources, rather than a bug, and the Android source code which recognizes Telegram URLs has been identified. URLs with Telegram as domain name are targeted actively and explicitly. The word Telegram appears in the code. This functioning risks being considered anti-competitive, and has not been explained by WhatsApp. In response to the Facebook acquisition in 2014, Slate columnist Matthew Iglesias questioned whether the company's business model of charging users $1 a year was viable in the United States in the long term. It had prospered by exploiting a loophole in mobile phone carriers' pricing. Mobile phone operators aren't really selling consumers some voice service, some data service, and some SMS service, he explained. They are selling access to the network. The different pricing schemes they come up with are just different ways of trying to maximize the value they extract from consumers. As part of that, carriers sold SMS separately. That made it easy for WhatsApp to find a way to replicate SMS using data, and then sell that to mobile customers for $1 a year. But if WhatsApp gets big enough, then carrier strategy is going to change, he predicted. You stop selling separate SMS plans and just have a take it or leave it overall package. And then suddenly WhatsApp isn't doing anything. The situation may have been different in countries other than the United States. Recent, 2016 present. On January 18, 2016, WhatsApp's co-founder Jan Koum announced that the service would no longer charge their users a $1 annual subscription fee in an effort to remove a barrier faced by some users who do not have a credit card to pay for the service. He also explained that the app would not display any third-party advertisement and instead would bring new features such as the ability to communicate with business organizations. By June 2016, more than 100 million voice calls are made per day on WhatsApp according to a post on the company's blog. On November 10, 2016, WhatsApp launched a two-step verification feature in beta for Android users. After enabling this feature, users can add their email address for further protection. Also in November 2016, Facebook ceased collecting WhatsApp data for advertising in Europe. On February 24, 2017, WhatsApp launched a new status feature similar to Snapchat and Facebook Stories. On May 18, 2017, it was reported that the European Commission was fining Facebook €110 million for misleading it during the 2014 takeover of WhatsApp. The Commission alleged that in 2014, when Facebook acquired the messaging app, it falsely claimed it was technically impossible to automatically combine user information from Facebook and WhatsApp. However, in the summer of 2016, WhatsApp had begun sharing user information with its parent company, allowing information such as phone numbers to be used for targeted Facebook advertisements. Facebook acknowledged the breach, but said the errors in their 2014 filings were not intentional. In September 2017, WhatsApp's co-founder Brian Acton left the company to start a non-profit, which was later revealed to be the Signal Foundation. WhatsApp also announced a forthcoming business platform which will enable companies to provide customer service to users at scale. Airlines KLM and Aeromexico both announced their participation in the testing. Both airlines had previously launched customer services on the Facebook Messenger platform. In January 2018, WhatsApp launched WhatsApp Business for small business use. In April 2018, WhatsApp's co-founder and CEO Jan Koum announced that he would be leaving the company. Facebook later announced that Koum's replacement as WhatsApp's CEO would be Chris Daniels. Later in September 2018, WhatsApp introduced group audio and video call feature. In October, Swipe to Reply option was made available for the Android beta version, 16 months after it was introduced for iOS. Platform support. After months at beta stage, the application eventually launched in November 2009 exclusively on the App Store for the iPhone. In January 2010, support for BlackBerry smartphones was added, and subsequently for Symbian OS in May 2010 and for Android OS in August 2010. In August 2011, a beta for Nokia's non-smartphone OS Series 40 was added. A month later, support for Windows Phone was added, followed by BlackBerry 10 in March 2013. In April 2015, support for Samsung's Tizen OS was added. An unofficial port has been released for the MeeGo-based Nokia N9 called WhatsApp, as well as a port for the Maemo-based Nokia N900 called Yapari. The oldest device that was capable of running WhatsApp was the Symbian-based Nokia N95 released in March 2007. In August 2014, WhatsApp released an update to its Android app, adding support for Android Wear smartwatches. In 2014, an unofficial open-source plugin called WhatsApp Purple was released for Pigeon, implementing its XMPP and making it possible to use WhatsApp on a Microsoft Windows or Linux PC. WhatsApp responded by automatically blocking phone numbers that connected to WhatsApp using this plugin. On January 21, 2015, WhatsApp launched WhatsApp Web, a web client which can be used through a web browser by syncing with the mobile device's connection. On February 26, 2016, WhatsApp announced they would cease support for BlackBerry Series 40 and Symbian S60, as well as older versions of Android, Windows Phone, and iOS, by the end of 2016. BlackBerry Series 40 and Symbian support was since then extended further to June 30, 2017. In June 2017, support for BlackBerry and Series 40 was once again extended until the end of 2017, while Symbian was dropped. Support for BlackBerry and older Windows Phone and older iOS devices was dropped on January 1, 2018. But for Nokia Series 40 was extended again, until December 2018. In July 2018, it was announced that WhatsApp will soon be available for iOS feature phones. WhatsApp Web. WhatsApp was officially made available for PCs through a web client, under the name WhatsApp Web, in late January 2015 through an announcement made by Cohen on his Facebook page. Our web client is simply an extension of your phone. The web browser mirrors conversations and messages from your mobile device. This means all of your messages still live on your phone. The WhatsApp user's handset must still be connected to the internet for the browser application to function. All major desktop browsers are supported except for Internet Explorer. WhatsApp Web's user interface is based on the default Android one. As of January 21, 2015, the desktop version was only available to Android, BlackBerry, and Windows Phone users. Later on, it also added support for iOS, Nokia Series 40, and Nokia S60. An unofficial derivative called WhatsApp Time has been developed, which is a standard Win32 application for PCs, and supports notifications through the Windows notification area. There are similar solutions for Mac OS, such as the open-source ChitChat, and multiple wrappers available in the App Store. Microsoft Windows and Mac. On May 10, 2016, the messaging service was introduced for both Microsoft Windows and Mac OS operating systems. WhatsApp currently does not allow audio or video calling from desktop operating systems. Similar to the WhatsApp web format, the app, which will be synced with a user's mobile device, is available for download on the website. It supports OS versions of Windows 8 and OS X 10.9 and higher. Technical. WhatsApp uses a customized version of the open standard extensible messaging and presence protocol. Upon installation, it creates a user account using one's phone number as the username. WhatsApp software automatically compares all the phone numbers from the device's address book with its central database of WhatsApp users to automatically add contacts to the user's WhatsApp contact list. Previously, the Android and Nokia Series 40 versions used an MD5 hashed, reversed version of the phone's email as password, while the iOS version used the phone's Wi-Fi MAC address instead of email. A 2012 update now generates a random password on the server side. Some dual SIM devices may not be compatible with WhatsApp, though there are some workarounds for this. In February 2015, WhatsApp introduced a voice calling feature. This helped WhatsApp to attract a completely different segment of the user population. On November 14, 2016, WhatsApp added video calling feature for users across Android, iPhone, and Windows Phone devices. On November 2017, WhatsApp released a new feature that would let its users delete messages sent by mistake within a time frame of 7 minutes. Multimedia messages are sent by uploading the image, audio or video to be sent to an HTTP server and then sending a link to the content along with its base64 encoded thumbnail. WhatsApp follows a store and forward mechanism for exchanging messages between two users. When a user sends a message, it first travels to the WhatsApp server where it is stored. Then the server repeatedly requests the receiver acknowledge receipt of the message. As soon as the message is acknowledged, the server drops the message. It is no longer available in the database of the server. The WhatsApp server keeps the message only for 30 days in its database when it is not delivered. End-to-end encryption. On November 18, 2014, Open Whisper Systems announced a partnership with WhatsApp to provide end-to-end encryption by incorporating the encryption protocol used in Signal into each WhatsApp client platform. Open Whisper Systems said that they had already incorporated the protocol into the latest WhatsApp client for Android, and that support for other clients, group/media messages, and key verification would be coming soon after. WhatsApp confirmed the partnership to reporters, but there was no announcement or documentation about the encryption feature on the official website, and further requests for comment were declined. In April 2015, German magazine Heise Security used ARP spoofing to confirm that the protocol had been implemented for Android-to-Android messages, and that WhatsApp messages from auto iPhones running iOS were still not end-to-end encrypted. They expressed the concern that regular WhatsApp users still could not tell the difference between end-to-end encrypted messages and regular messages. On April 5, 2016, WhatsApp and Open Whisper Systems announced that they had finished adding end-to-end encryption to every form of communication on WhatsApp. and that users could now verify each other's keys. Users were also given the option to enable a trust on first use mechanism in order to be notified if a correspondence key changes. According to a white paper that was released along with the announcement, WhatsApp messages are encrypted with the Signal protocol. WhatsApp calls are encrypted with SRTP. And all client-server communications are layered within a separate encrypted channel. The Signal protocol library used by WhatsApp is open source and published under the GPL v3 license. Cade Metz, writing in Wired, said, WhatsApp, more than any company before it, has taken encryption to the masses. Brought to you by WikiVidi documentaries. Would you like to know more?